Hi, I'm VoteEvely, and I'm a candidate for City Councillor for Ward 3 right here in the City of Pickering. Let's take a moment and talk about environmental issues. One of my main problems, one of my chief concerns, is that we need to oppose urban sprawl. So we need to curb it. We need to do something that we can develop more walkable communities with connected green spaces and mixed use planning to get the most out of the least amount of space. We need to protect our precious green spaces and farmlands. We need to get away from the developments that are cookie cutters, residential cookie cutter style townhomes, which really truly lack vision. And I want to make it quite clear, I'm not against development. I just feel that we need to start doing it smart and more sustainable. I would also like to see a few things happen. For example, I don't want to see the urbanization of Northeast Pickering. So we need to keep the urban boundaries within reason to where they're at right now. I will not be supporting the urbanization of Northeast Pickering. Another thing I'd like to really see happen within the next few years is to increase our waste diversion strategy to include more items that are recyclable so that we can keep them out of our landfills. The best way we can do this is look at other communities that are making it work. For example, Hamilton. Let's look at their best practices to see how they're able to achieve what we're currently not. I have a vision. It's called 2020 vision, no pun intended, of course, that Pickering should be able to divert 90% of its waste out of landfills. And I believe that we can do that by the year 2020. And I also feel that Pickering can be the leader for keeping waste out of landfills in the entire Durham region. Now, going back, I also support the protection of Class 1 farmland. In fact, in 2004, I spoke against the then controversial growth management study. I spoke before council. It was just ugly right from the beginning. It was developer funded. It advised developing in the southern tip of the protected agricultural assembly, and it was pressing the urban boundaries into the protected lands, which were protected in perpetuity a mere few years prior to this. Now, I know for sure, and it's a matter of record, that my opponent voted in favor of the growth management study, and it passed. However, the province of Ontario invoked the Greenbelt Act, which took away the ability to plan for that area. Now, one thing that you can't replace farmland, and we got to start thinking of the future and put people before profits. The growth management study was controversial because it was funded by the same developers that fund political campaigns right here in Pickering. In fact, in 2006, David Pickles received $20,959 in campaign contributions, and 74% of those came from the development industry. In fact, that was the highest of all councillors, including the mayor, on this present council. Now, I believe that has way too much reach for one industry to have within a city council. Now, I don't take contributions from developers, their agents, municipal vendors that may have something or parties with a proposal before the city. That keeps me conflict free, that I'm able to serve the interests of the taxpayers, and that's exactly where my focus is. I would like to support the creation of an agricultural business plan for Pickering, that we can set up a series of marketing boards and support systems to better utilize the Class 1 farmlands that exist here in Pickering. What's lacking is a support hub necessary to ensure the success of farmers and the crops that they produce. We would need to do a study that would include a barrier analysis, and it would indicate specific barriers that exist from allowing an agricultural business community to flourish. I think that we have a great resource that's being wasted, and let's face it, it takes longer to get rich from farming than it does from building houses. I also believe that it's paramount to protect environmentally sensitive land, and it should be our primary duty to the environment. Creating natural buffers from development would be a great and creative way to ensure that sensitive areas are protected from high impact developments. Now, members of council are given stewardship of the environment, and I use that word in the most respectful way, stewardship of the very fragile environment, which is sometimes forgotten. And with good intentions, it goes unchecked. So we have to stop allowing our politicians to take food off our tables. On Election Day, October 25th, I ask that you stand with me, and stand with me on the environmental issues, and vote Evely. Thank you.